So how much privacy are we supposed to have, in as a couple? We don't necessarily need to share everything, but there shouldn't be anything that makes us at least suspect something. Obviously, we want to establish trust. The couple need to trust each other, and the more they trust each other, the less they're gonna be questioned about, where were you, what were you doing, who are you talking to. We don't need to share everything, but one has to be honest with oneself that if we do something that we know that we don't want to share because it's not so appropriate, or it's not, I feel that, or if my wife found out, or if my husband found out, I said this to that person, and I would feel ashamed of it, or not comfortable, or judged for it. That means that, obviously I should probably not do it that way. I should do it in a different way. Now, I don't think it's appropriate or healthy that we should just check all the message of the other. Okay, we all have our own way of talking and our own way of dealing with things. However, it shouldn't be that we refuse for the other to look at something, unless it's going to bring obviously unnecessary, let's say you've answered something to your in-laws in a certain way, and you know that if your wife or your husband saw it, then you'll be really upset, and really it's not going to change anything. But we have to be careful that we don't do it in a way that it leads to have doubting, or thinking that we're doing something inappropriate or not good. So there has to be a trust. So we don't have to share everything, but we should be able to share almost everything, if not everything, right? The moment we do something, that this is a general rule, the moment we do something that we know our spouse, if she was right next to me, will not appreciate, and will feel like hurt by it, then we know we're entering into already a danger zone, and where we can lose trust from our partner. So although we need our privacy, we have to really be careful about that. Now, that's about that, about the phone. But the point I want to touch mostly on is regarding going out. For example, it's when a man goes out at night, or a woman goes out at night, once we're married, there should be absolutely no fear of saying where we were, and it should be totally normal saying, "Oh, where were you tonight? What were you doing?" A husband and wife should almost always know where the other one is, especially if it's at night. We are one being. Everywhere where I am represents my wife. Everywhere my wife is represents the husband. We are not, living as separate beings. Everything that I do matter, and therefore she has the right to know wherever you are. If you're in a place where you don't feel comfortable telling to her, or she's in a place where she's not comfortable telling to you, it's normal that the other one is going to upset. It shouldn't be such a thing. So it is important to be transparent about those things. There's no reason for man or woman who is married at night not to tell the other where one is. There's absolutely no good reason. Okay? So, because that's the first place where we give doubt. What if you're married? What are you doing alone at night with someone else that your spouse doesn't even know about, or that you don't tell? There's nothing more suspicious than that. Okay, so also when your spouse asks you where were you doing, or what were you doing, we should not be afraid of those questions. It's totally normal. A spouse is interested, just naturally interested, not especially if it's a woman. He wants to know what we're doing, what you're doing with your life. That's a natural thing for women to ask. And a man, if a man feels threatened, it's like, "Well, I do whatever I want, I'm not a child." Well, be your husband. You're a married man, and your wife has the right to know wherever you are, whenever you are. Because why are you hiding something in the first place? There has to be complete connection and trust. So a lot of it has to do with self, really knowing ourselves, what we do, whether it's appropriate or not. The moment we're trying to hide something, already you're in danger zone. And your wife asking, or the husband asking, where were you at night? That's a complete valid question, and it should not be taken in a threatening way. It should be accepted that it's normal. Like, everybody will ask. It's like your parents asking where you're. It's normal. It's logical. So if you feel that it's not normal and she has no right to know, or you do your own thing, then why did you get married? Marriage is not just like, we're together but I do whatever I want whenever I want. I do my own thing. No, you're not your own thing anymore. You're partners, right? If someone crashes, it's like in a company. If one crashes, oh yeah, I don't have to tell my CEO partner that things are falling apart, or that I made a deal with that person. Everything goes together. Whatever happens to me happens to you. What happens to you happens to me. So that's, I think, an important concept to really try to think of, so that eventually you come to the point where everything I write on my phone, whatever I say to anybody, wherever I am, is always appropriate, and it should be done in exactly the same way as if my spouse was next to me. That should be like that 99% of the time. After, there's exception, because for sometimes these little stupid things that is gonna make us angry for no good reason. So then but it doesn't change anything. Meaning, even the person will find out, it will not change anything to the shalom bayit. It will change only thing that like a way of thinking that is different, but it doesn't change anything in terms of trust and love and relationship. So I hope that was clear enough, but I think it's a very important point that very often is missed in our lives. We should reach the point where we are completely transparent with each other. That's what true love is, true unity. So may we all be able to achieve it.